Justice Anthony Kennedy is leaving the Supreme Court. He'd been a key vote in decisions upholding abortion rights. But President Trump has said he wants to appoint a pro-life judge.
Under my administration, we will always defend the right to life.
Here's what three frontrunners have already said about abortion and the landmark abortion rights case, Roe v. Wade. Judge Amy Coney Barrett has been championed by Christian conservatives. At a nomination hearing for a federal appellate court last year, Democrats asked her how her Catholic faith may factor into her decision-making.
You have a long history of believing that your religious beliefs should prevail. Well, how do you evaluate the precedents, plural, with respect to Roe?
The Supreme Court precedents?
Yes.
It's not open to me or up to me, and I would have no interest in, as a Court of Appeals judge, challenging that precedent. It would bind.
In a 2016 discussion, she said she could envision the scope of abortion rights changing.
I don't think the core case, that Roe's core holding that, women have a right to an abortion, I don't think that would change. But I think the question of whether people can get very late-term abortions, how many restrictions can be put on clinics, I think that would change.
Next is Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Before he became a federal appellate court judge, he helped the Bush administration fill the federal courts with conservative judges. But he skirted the issue of where they stood on reproductive rights.
That the abortion issue was put forward by the Bush administration as the sole litmus test. Let me ask you this. Could you identify 5 pro-choice judges
I don't think
that the White House sent to the Hill?
I don't know whether the nominees are pro-choice or pro-life unless
4, 3, 2, 1?
Senator, I'm sure there are many. I don't know what someone's I don't know, and we don't ask what someone's position on issues like that is.
And finally, there's Judge Raymond Kethledge. He hasn't talked publicly about Roe v. Wade, but he has spoken about the nature of Supreme Court precedent.
First and foremost, I'd follow Supreme Court precedent. The other thing I would say is that, again, I would make sure that the values that I would be enforcing if I were a judge are not just my values, that I am not striking something down simply because I don't like it.
President Trump said he will announce a Supreme Court nominee in the coming days.